Hi everyone, glad you tuned in this week to our weekly video. And we're starting to see some major weather shifting here from a really wet spring to now a really dry summer. And with that dry summer, we're seeing a lot more responses to some of the surfactants that we're spraying out in the soybean fields especially. Haven't seen so much with the corn, but especially with the soybeans. And I was sharing some pictures with you last week on some of the burn that we're seeing.
Yeah, so the pictures you sent me were really spotty. You could really tell where that droplet hit the leaf and caused that burn.
Yeah, the tissue burn on that was more like a foamosaphin or a flux star burn. I think that it'll, especially if we get a rain, it'll grow out of it nicely. We are seeing with the addition of Phosphix with the herbicide spraying a quicker healing process, and so I would recommend putting a pint of Phosphix in if you're spraying, especially an EC herbicide. The main thing that we were seeing was with ECs and dicambas burning the soybeans, but also with the foamosaphins. That'd be a good addition. Phosphix would be a good addition.
Yeah, Phosphix is really great for the stress relief in a plant. So you can really tell the difference in the untreated versus the treated in most stressful situations because it really helps it grow out of it a lot faster.
It's an interesting product. It's got some marine extracts in it, some hormones, some cytokines. It's just a really, really interesting product, really reasonably priced product too.
So speaking of foliar applications, another thing that we want to consider this year especially is boron. In general, boron is a more deficient nutrient than most. In fact, according to A&L Labs in their soil test summaries, 2018, over 50% of soils were low to very low in boron, and all of those crops are going to show a visual response when a boron application is made. So another thing I want to reference is the Fluid Fertilizer Foundation. They posted an article and they did some studies in Ohio, Wisconsin, and Michigan. They applied a 1/4 pound of boron to their crops and received a 3% yield increase compared to those without the boron.
Boron is one of those products that are very low out in our fields, and it seems like it's very hard to achieve that. I like 2 parts per million on the soil test. It's very hard to achieve that, and foliar applications seem to be a lot better, especially evenly applied.
Right.
Because a dry application in the fall or spring is a good addition into your fields, but you can get hot spots out there, and boron, especially in germination, can be detrimental. Too much boron.
So those hot spots are really, you have a granular fertilizer and it doesn't spread across the entire field evenly. Where that actual granule is your hot spot in the field. So
if a seed would happen to drop there, that you can really detriment the germination.
So the good thing about the foliar applications is you're going to get that even, smooth application across all plants without having a hot spot. And one of the great places to get boron is Overpass.
Yeah, Overpass CF, it's got 25% slow release nitrogen, 2202 with 1% S, 0.5% boron. Very safe for applications on crops during flowering. So we're coming into tassel now. Some of our southern territories, the corn's starting to tassel. 1 to 2 gallons with your fungicide application over the top of the corn during tassel. Very safe for the corn, and it'll give you that kick because boron is essential during reproductive stage.
Absolutely. So if you have a crop without boron, then you're not going to get that ear set, ear fill. It's going to be pretty much half the kernels, and it's going to look awful.
Yeah.
You're not going to get your yield.
Yeah, silk production is very important. So
essential for pollination.
Yes. Yeah, and boron helps with silk production.
And then that Overpass CF is also going to provide you with 10 to 14 days of nitrogen feeding with that slow release nitrogen component. Thank you, and that's all we have for you today. If you have any questions about any products that we've spoken about, talk to an Anderson's representative or visit andersonsplantnutrient.com. Thank you.